Hello. What a fine Sunday I see you all on. Let's get rid of that echo. Excellent. Excellent. Hello. Hello. I hope everyone is well. I hope that if you're in Australia or New Zealand, then it's probably morning. But yesterday, I hope you had a good Father's Day, as it is apparently Australia/New Zealand's Father's Day. Yes, today, don't know. But everyone in England is looking forward to the blood moon coming, as tonight we're meant to have a bright red blood moon, which is great. Yesterday it was a very big and full moon, like super bright kind of moon. Like you have curtains closed and the light is still getting through from the moon. Can vampires be active on a Sunday? It's a whole day named after the sun. It's not a perfect representation of the sun. It's fine. It's fine. As long as you have good enough curtains. Unless they get penetrated by moonlight. That could happen. Painting an Exorcist. Excellent. Excellent. I assume it's the brand new Exorcist. I say brand new Exorcist. I mean the one that came out in 8th edition. The one that came out like 4 years ago, rather than the one that came out 21 years ago. It's all relative, you see. I have many plans, of course, for videos this week. It was kind of quiet last week. Part of that was because I was waiting on the balance patch coming. Do we have expectations for the balance patch? Of course we do. Of course we do. And it's probably going to be bad for whatever faction we play. Yeah. So I was kind of expecting that. Didn't prep a video for like the middle of the week. Other videos I'm working on got delayed for unrelated reasons to me. It wasn't my fault. And so they'll be coming in the coming week. Unless, of course, that's when we have the balance patch actually happening in the middle of that week. You had the old model at the local game store, but it sold before you started playing Sisters. Oh, that's a shame. I do quite like the 2004 Exorcist. I also quite like the 1997 Exorcist, but that's got metal parts on a small Rhino chassis, so it's less good. It's less good. Oh, Flawless Blades consume vehicles? Yeah, the Flawless Blades are kind of fun. So they're an Emperor's Children unit with swords, but they can choose to say, okay, I will definitely kill at least one thing in combat, otherwise I'ma die. And so they get critical wounds on a 3+, meaning they can wound even the biggest tanks on a 3+, which means that they can stab tanks pretty well. Of course, if they don't kill it, one of their number will die, but that's still a lot of damage they can cause to the average tank. And I have had 6 of them try and stab a Baneblade before. My Baneblade, my Brood Brothers Baneblade. How very dare it? It was kind of funny. Ooh, just built 3 Brood Brothers Katachan heavy weapon teams. They're a pretty good one. They have Scout. It's important to remember they have Scouts. You can use them as Scouts. They're relatively cheap Scouts. And they also have decent heavy weapons, and they get to reroll wound rolls of 1. I think it's wound rolls of 1 against vehicles. So they're good at taking out tanks. Pretty good at taking out tanks. It's 3 las cannons or missile launchers. Usually las cannons. Maybe auto cannons. Damage 3 is pretty good, but the AP -1 lets it down when you want to be firing at vehicles, which is what you want to be doing for their special rule. So las cannons. And then the balance patch is coming. So Sisters are probably going to get nothing, because they have a good win rate with the Champions of Faith and the Hallowed Martyrs. So they will probably be left alone, unless it's going to be like, oh, wait, we need to increase the points on the characters, like the Canoness, like the Hospitaller. That would not be ideal. In exchange, it would be good if we had some benefits from, like, other parts of the army, like the Repentia, the Dogmata, the Imagifier. If anyone likes the Dogmata, you will like one of my upcoming videos. Oh, the Myamorn Banshees. I do like the Myamorn Banshees. I do have Age of Sigmar. I don't have the Ghosts, but I bought the Myamorn Banshees because in past editions of Age of Sigmar, you could have the vampire count, the Sol Bligat Grav Lords, could be allied with the Night Haunt, the ghosts. So you could have the ghosts and the vampires in the same army, almost like you're playing vampire counts. Which I still do because Old World has come back and is popular again. Loads of people play Old World. Space Marine tanks are okay. There's definitely light ones that get taken down pretty quickly. The same for the Battle Sister tanks. The Immolator, the Castigator, they go down very easily. Red Shooters go down 80 points just to make people buy lots of boxes. You know, I don't think they're above that. I can absolutely see Games Workshop doing that. And then we have problems with the Gene Stealer cult, because they are doing very well with the Host of Ascension. So we're either going to see penalties to the Host of Ascension enhancements, which would maybe be the best way of doing it, or they can just keep hitting specific Host of Ascension units, like the Benefictus, the new Psyker character. Everyone's bought one by now, you know. Who needs another one of them? So they could go up. What other units? 20 Neophytes, they could just keep increasing the points on 20 Neophytes, which mainly affects the Host of Ascension. I'm trying to think of other units that specifically want to be in that detachment. No, it's mainly them too. I mean, the Nexus only really works in the Host of Ascension because it's such a command point hungry detachment. They're not taken anywhere else. However, they're not really great for the points generally. Oh, and then indirect fire nerf? Well, why not? I'm sure the Exorcist can go up to 250 points. That sounds great. In fact, make it more expensive than the Triumph of St. Catherine. Why not? Then you can just have the Exorcist going around saying, this is a Triumph of St. Catherine, because it's cheaper that way. Nerfs for the Eldar? People keep complaining about the Eldar. I don't know who's winning with the Eldar generally, but there's still comments of like, oh, I can't win against the Eldar, they're so awful. I think they're becoming a bit more popular in the UK because the Combat Patrol magazine has had cheap Eldar. So it's like £10 for 5 Wraithguard, or a Wraithlord, or other things. Very nice. Very nice to get cheap models. I do like that. Genestealer Occult stuff isn't coming out till November, and then it's like over 10 issues, and you don't want all of the issues? Keep up with the channel, and I will tell you which issues to buy if you're in the UK. And then it'll also be like wheeled out to Europe, and then it'll be wheeled out to United States, and I'm sure eventually, perhaps, it'll get through to Australia. Because Australia only recently finished the Imperium magazine run, I think, which is the one that had Battle Sisters and Necrons and Space Marines and stuff, which was based on 9th edition. Eldar are tricky to deal with. Eldar can actually be a pain now I think about all of the token things they can do. Oh, I shot them with something that's like a support unit, like a Ridge Runner, like a Castigator, and then they moved out of line of sight before the main unit could shoot. Yeah, they can do that. Or they can be like, I'm just going to move faster now. Just because I want to. Or I deny you Overwatch, which is the only way you were going to hurt me. Which is understandable because they're very fragile. And I would keep saying, hey, people should use Overwatch more often, specifically against Eldar. Their elite units are still toughness 3 with like a 4+ save. And you do have to know what they can do. And you do have to think about things constantly. As you do when anything can, like you shoot it and then it moves. So World Eaters, several times I've fallen into the trap of, I need to shoot this unit. Oh wait, it can move. Or it can choose not to move and move after the next unit shoots. Yeah, it's a pain. They're a pain. So you got to hit them with the hardest thing and then charge them, I guess. There's ways to get around World Eaters. If you can take out their point scoring units like the Jackals, then it becomes a bit easier. Because they will be scoring far fewer points. Unfortunately, that's how you've kind of got to play Battle Sisters and Genestealer Cult. You've just got to deal with the units that can score victory points, and then slowly feed the enemy your units. You die, Genestealer Cult come back, Battle Sisters get Miracle Dice, and then there's the Death Watch, who are just not performing as well as any other like Space Marine faction. And the Space Marine factions are not super amazing at the moment, even with a pretty horrendous +1 to wound. Oh, I fire las cannons at your tank. I wound you on 2s. That is absurd. And with full rerolls to hit as well. It's very much, I'm going to kill that thing today. Right now. Whereas Deathwatch, there's teleport shenanigans. If you want to do the teleport shenanigans detachment, I prefer the Gladius Task Force because I have a much more elite infantry base. So being able to advance and charge, or advance and shoot, or fall back with everything and then charge back in so I fight first. It's really good. It's really good. I can see the points of Fire Dragons going up. Eldar Fire Dragons. They still do very well. Their points are not amazing compared to like the Index and when the Codex first came out, but they still are really good at destroying a vehicle because Eldar are super specialized. Even more specialized than Primaris Space Marines, who are also not doing great. It is giving me some hope for like 11th edition that they're going to have more of a, hey, you know, Firstborn stuff's still here and is cool and we have Tactical Marines. Going through the most recent White Dwarf, it's very Space Marine related, and on like every page, if not every other page, or every other page, if not every page, many pages had Firstborn things. Firstborn helmets, like Mark 6 helmets, Mark 7 helmets, and people are like, oh yeah, I put these on because it's cool, and then Games Workshop's like, we're going to show off that very specific model. When they're talking about the Dreadnoughts, there's a little bit of a mention to the Primaris Dreadnoughts, a little bit of a mention to the Horus Heresy Dreadnoughts, a lot of it's about the Castiferum Dreadnoughts and the Ironclad Dreadnoughts, the regular boxy Dreadnoughts. Maybe Games Workshop will do that next. Be like, hey, there's 4 kinds of Dreadnoughts currently. Primaris Generic Dreadnought, Primaris Shooty Dreadnought, Primaris Combat Dreadnought, and then there's the Box Dreadnought, which we've upscaled ever so slightly. Yeah, Hellblasters are unpleasant. I mean, in casual games also the Infernus Marines can be unpleasant if they get near the right thing, especially with the Salamanders doing so well. Well, the Salamander's getting a new detachment, which I think is a better version of the Transport detachment, the Firestorm Assault. And then we have the new Raven Guard detachment, which is a better version of the stealthy one. Vanguard, the Vanguard-y one, which is all about stealth. Because then you got a reactive move in the movement phase. It's not just when you're getting charged. So you can move backwards, or you can move sideways onto an objective. Lots of things you can do. Or like the enemy falls back, and then you can move onto an objective to get more bodies on it, and then you control the objective. They've fallen back. You know that they're not going to be charging you or shooting you. You have the objective now. And there's no longer the, if you're within 3 inches of the enemy, you can't take a unit off the board and put it back on the board later. I don't know if they do that with Deep Strike, I don't know. And then Lysander's detachment is the first company, but done, I wouldn't say better, done a little bit different, ever so slightly different. There's barely any difference between it. It's still a very bad detachment. So this is like, hey, we made a newer, shinier version of the rubbish you didn't want. I'm pretty sure I had the first company as one of my worst detachments in my 5 worst detachments video. Brackets that I've used. Of course the Brood Brothers were there, and most of it was Imperial Agents. Vulcan's Easter Egg Hunt. Yes, that's a good detachment name. Yeah, it's great for the Infernus Marines. And yeah, they can just advance and shoot and do actions. And I think they also have a higher objective control, because that is still, from the previous balance patch, that's still there. So I'm wondering if it's going to stick around. Those particular things like, oh, if you take Vulcan, then Infernus Marines are better. If you take Lysander, then Imperial Fist Terminators are better. Things like that. They may stick around, they may not. Because Shrike can join units. Yes, yes. Caravan Shrike can join units. Even though we have the new Chapter Master, Ethan Shawn. Perfectly normal person name. He's a new Chapter Master. Although he's only the Chapter Master if you take him in the army. And then if you take Shrike in the army as well, Shrike becomes a captain. It's a weird thing. Gabriel Seth for new model? Perhaps? He is the Flesh Terror person, isn't he? I think we're maybe a little bit beyond that. It could happen. It could happen. That may be next edition. I don't see why it couldn't be next edition. Mayhaps. Mayhaps it is next edition. I'm going to keep using the word mayhaps. I'm hearing other people saying mayhaps now. It's so strange. I'm like, is that a reference to me? I hope that's not a reference to me. It's fun. Mayhaps they will do that in 11th edition. It's going to be part of the vocabulary now. What other things are there? Oh, Crimson Fist character. Who is the Crimson Fist chapter master? Who carries the Arrow of Dawn? The dude. The Crimson Fist of the Crimson Fist. Doesn't matter. Him. He could also perhaps do with a new model because it's not necessarily sold on a 25mm base, but when it came out, it was on a 25mm base. Mayhaps Greyfax will get a new ability that boosts her when with Battle Sisters. It's a nice idea, but I think that means splitting up a lot of the things in Imperial Agents. And Imperial Agents is really bad, and I hope that this time, Imperial Agents get an army rule. And Games Workshop will be like, oh, we're so generous, look at this, we gave one of our armies with a codex an army rule. And I'll be like, uh-huh, it's a bit late. It's like, wow, you paid me the money I was owed. Like 4 months later. It's not what we want. Not what we want. Okay. Now that I've rambled on for 20 minutes, I think I will start the game. So let me... I go down to here. I put my Witch Hunter hat on. I can put the hat on my head, but if I put the hat on my head, then it wobbles around because it is a 2D thing attached to my 3-dimensional head. And strange as it seems, if you're a VTuber, 3 dimensions is easier than 2 dimensions. Unless you're like a PNG that moves a little bit. That's slightly different. That's slightly different. Anyway. Game. Game is there. Okay. If I change the music over. Very good. So this is Demon Bluff. I am currently part of the beta testers who were playing it, as much of it as currently is released, and we find out bugs, but we also get to basically play the game, and it's about hunting demons. Everyone loves to hunt demons. Oh, other people are aware of Demon Bluff. Good, good. It's not available to buy at the moment, so that's why it's on, like, you can wishlist it, but some people do have access to it, like myself. I will show you how it works, at least in the demo. So, there's like 7 levels of villagers. You need to protect all the villagers. It's a card game, sort of. It has the potential to be as good as Gwent, but you always play against the computer. I mean, be as popular as Gwent. It's only recently not come out, because it's still not out. It's in the beta testing stage. Right, so there's one evil among the characters, find and kill them. So there are 5 good characters, and there's going to be 5 characters on the field. However, one of them is replaced with this minion. We don't know which one is replaced with the evil minion. So we have to find and execute the evil character. There is the one minion, there is one enemy. This is village 1 of 7 as you go through the ranks. Like, that's how you get to the next level. You finish this particular set, you go to the next set of the village. Once you've done 7 of them, you have completed everything in the village. And Ascension 1 is like difficulty, I assume. Right. So I flip over a card and it tells me a thing. Each different character tells you different information. So the lover tells you, for the 2 characters next to her, if any of them are evil. However, if she was the evil character, she would lie and say, like, there's one evil next to me, when she is in fact the evil. But for now, because there's only one evil in 5 cards, I can probably trust her. Right, so I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. So that's either going to mean that one's evil, or this one's evil. Right, Confessor is a simple character. You can look at them and tell you what they say. Right, they cannot lie. If they're evil or corrupted, they say, I am dizzy. And so, since this one is saying, I am good, it's a good character. We know that's a good character. It's still possible that the lover is lying, No, it can't be possible that lover is lying, because if they're saying that, hey, there's no evils next to me. No, there could be. If they were evil, they'd be like, no one is next to me that's evil. It's okay, it's fine, Right, next one, saying number 1 is good. Okay, so if that person is telling the truth, then that person is also good. So that means, yep, you're good and you're good. Which also means that you're good. Which means that, you know, the hunter is saying, I'm 1 card away from this person, who is the confessor, no, the enlightened, who's saying evil is this way. Yeah, if the lover was evil, then there'd be at least 1 evil next to her, but that can't be possible since it's only 1 evil. So, that person is saying that person's good, I can believe it, they're good, so it has to be them. There you go, village is safe, all evil characters have been executed. That's the basic version. That's like level 1. And so we unlock new characters as we go. So we have the medium, learn a good character and their role, interesting, and the judge. Pick a character and learn if they're lying. So it's fun, you can do this with me, because I'm going to need help as it gets a bit more difficult. Right, so they're telling me closest evil is counterclockwise. Learn equidistant if there's equal evils. But we're still only finding 1 evil. We just have 1 more card it could be. Right, number 1 is a real enlightened. Okay. Interesting. Can we have 2 of the same? I don't know if... No, surely not. So that suggests that 1 of the enlightened is not telling the truth. Though that person is saying trust them. We have the judge. Pick a character and learn if they're lying. Okay, that's an ability I'll use in a second. No evils adjacent to me, says the lover. Right, so you're saying... You're both saying that that person is good. Fine. The judge, I will pick a character and find out if they're lying. Number 3 is lying. Okay. There we go. Though this is, of course, on difficulty 1. There's only minions, then there's demons that come along, and now as you go through the game, things get more complicated. So the Empress, which is a strange character to have in a peasant village, says, okay, I'll tell you about 3 characters, 1 of the 3 is evil. And we have a Wretch, who is like an outcast. They register as an evil minion, so other people are going to say that person is evil. So if the Empress was like, okay, there's 6, 7 and 1 are evil, 1 of them is evil, but 1 of them's the Wretch, that suggests that we can figure out which ones are good. It's a lot of deduction. So in this set we have 5 villagers and a Wretch, and the minion is hiding as 1 of them. Oh, okay. Confessor is dizzy. That suggests Confessor is evil. 1 evil adjacent. Yep, that tracks. We have a good Confessor. 3 is a real Confessor. That tracks. Number 4 is good. Yep, they're all just corroborating each other. Closest evil is clockwise. And there's the Wretch. So they may be detecting the Wretch. But saying 1 evil is next to me. The Confessor's just a brilliant character, because if they're evil, they will tell you that they're evil. It's not impossible. Right, twin minions. So that suggests that there are going to be more evil characters. And there's the Jester. So the Jester, you pick 3 characters and learn how many of them are evil. Fine, we can cope with that. So now we have to kill 2 evil things. 2 minions, no demons. Right. 1 of them is evil out of 1, 2, and 5. Okay. Right. So that's the Wretch who registers as evil to you. You can see how this is going to get more complicated as the game goes on. That there's more and more parts to make it all work. 2 cards away from closest evil. So that would be, thankfully it has these little arrows that pop up to tell you what ones he's referring to. So 6 or 3. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, the good thing about the Empress is if the Empress is lying, then she always points to 3 good characters. So if you can figure out that they're lying, that works. Yeah. So 1 and 2 are clean? Yeah, I think you're getting it. Yes. So if these 2 are corroborating each other, because this one is tracking number 5 as evil, who we know as a Wretch, I register as evil to other characters. Right, so we're saying the evil is either 6 or 3. Huh. Now surely if you were a villager, you should register the wretch as evil. That's suspicious. A judge, I can just point at you and saying, okay, yeah, they're lying. 3 cards away from closest evil. Oh. Oh no. But you should be saying it's... Oh, right, that's of course. Of course, there's 2 enemies. There's twin minion and a minion. Great. Great. Okay. Forgot there was 2 little things to catch. Right, Bombardier. You lose if you execute me. And there's the knight who just cannot die. So if I try and kill the knight, they won't die. Great, and we have a similar kind of cast this time. Yeah, always try stabbing the knight when revealed. Unless somehow the knight was posed as the Bombardier. Or when you get later into it, there's a lot of corruption. So that's where villagers that are good and honest are forced to lie. Then their abilities also don't work. Then I think the knight does... Yeah, if I'm executed while corrupted, I deal 4 additional damage to you. It's very nasty. So, you are dizzy. Okay, that means you're evil. 7 is good. Yeah, Bombardier should be a good character. 1 is evil out of 6, 5, and 8. Okay, I'll turn over the one that isn't them. 6 is a real hunter. Okay, so that suggests 5 is evil. And yeah, I can just try stabbing them. They are a real knight, because they didn't die. But, as you're 1 card away from evil, and you are dizzy, you are always dizzy. Evil is dizzy, right. So yeah, one of those 3. And that one's a real hunter apparently, so it has to be the jester. Great. Got this. The witch. If the witch is here, you cannot reveal the last card. Okay. And the scout tells you how far a specific evil is to another evil. So I get, if I can find one, I should be able to find the other, assuming that they're telling the truth. I can't deny the witch, because the witch is still going to stop me from getting one. So we have a witch and a minion, so I can't see the last one. They're going to lie in disguise, standard evil things. Okay, judge. One of them is evil. 1, 7, or 4. So I better turn these over now. Right, okay. So you're picking up the wretch as evil, which means you should be good, and you should be good if the Empress is telling the truth. I mean, I could always test with the knight. Great. Knight is definitely telling the truth. Good. Okay, that tracks, that tracks. We still should be suspicious of, like, these 2. In some way. Potentially. Ah, we have another Empress. That's 1, 5, or 2. If the Emperor is lying, you shouldn't point at the wretch. You're right, you're right. Okay. So, you're telling the truth, you're telling the truth. Right, 1 is evil out of those 3. That one, and that one. So, if you are telling the truth... Okay, you're telling the truth because the wretch is right there. You're saying number 3 is good. I mean, I'll believe it. So, that suggests you are lying. Yeah. Yeah. Because they were picking 3 good characters. And that also means that as you are a real knight, everyone else is telling the truth. It all tracks. That means that one's the evil one. There we go. We killed a witch. We did it. This is what you got to do in the Inquisition. You got to find them witches and kill them witches. Right, that was village 6 of 7? Or we're moving on to village 6, right. Okay. We have our first demon. Bar the demon. A fake outcast is added to the deck. So there should have only been one of these, there's now actually 2 of them. And wants to be feared, mostly gets head patted. Great. Gonna kill some demons. Disguises as a unique villager. Good. She did not weigh less than a duck. So there can't be duplicated villages. Alright. Okay, okay. And we just had... we have the witch and bar. Okay, so we're not going to get the last card. You're saying number 7's a real judge? It looks like a real judge. No evils adjacent to me. I'm willing to trust all 3 of them for the moment. Let's try something far on the other side. A jester. Okay. Bombardier. You're saying number 1 is good. That tracks into the group dynamic. Evil is that way. That's more suspicious because you're saying you are good. Let's find out if you're lying. That says you're lying. Okay. Good, good. So they're good, they're good, they're good, they're good. That gives me 2. So learn how many of them are evil. Right, so if I say all 3 of these, because I trust all 3 of them, says there are no evils. Let's go with that. Great. The witch was keeping herself hidden. Wicked witch. That's another witch killed. Good, good. Slayer. I can just pick a character. If they're evil, they kill them. So they won't kill other evil characters. I don't know what else they will do. If they're evil, they won't kill evil characters. If they're good, they won't kill good characters. That would suggest they work. And the knitter, who confusingly tells you how many evils are adjacent to each other. So if there's 2 evils that are next to one another, then it'll say like there's 1 pair of evil. Otherwise it might be like, hey, there's none of them next to each other. They're all separate. Right, so difficulty is increased. We must purify the villages. Yeah. Not all the villages, maybe some of the villages. 1 evil among the characters. Okay. So we just have the witch for now. That doesn't seem difficult. Maybe it's like putting down the difficulty before ramping up the difficulty. Saying that way's evil. Okay, they're just arguing with each other. Great. If that one was evil, then this one should be saying evil is equidistant. Because you should be tracking them as evil. 1 card away from evil. Yep, that tracks. Which is 1 card away from the closest evil? Ooh. Okay. This is a more difficult one. Oh, right, okay. No, it isn't. There's only 1 witch. Yeah. I was thinking there was 2 and I was like, oh, hang on. Yeah. It's because the wretch. Thank you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Is it all making sense so far? I hope it is. That's good. Right, so the bard tells you how far they are from the closest corrupted character. The poisoner corrupts villagers. So a corrupted villager will lie. So they will come up much like a demon. However, it's an adjacent one, so if I find 1 liar, the other liar is going to be next to them. There are also 2 demons, right, so of these 8, 3 of them are going to lie. Wonderful. You're 2 cards away from the closest evil. Uh-huh. Interesting. Right, now the lover's going to be an interesting one for the poisoner, because the poisoner always poisons an adjacent person. So if you're saying that, hey, maybe 3 is evil, then one of them next to them is also going to be evil. Right, you're good. You're the confessor. You're perfect. 1 card away from corrupted character. Are you meant to tell? Right, okay, you say you. So if that's a corrupted character, potentially, that is the evil character. Okay. And there's a second bombardier. Right, okay, the poison only corrupts villagers. That's good to know. Yes, purple villager. Okay. We see purple cards and yellow outcasts, who are also good people. Right, so we're looking for 3 liars. You are not a liar. You are wonderful. If you're 1 away from a corrupted character, it can't be both true. I mean, you could be corrupted. But if you're corrupted, then you're telling the truth. And that person can't be corrupted And you wouldn't be saying, hey, yeah, if this was the poisoner, they wouldn't be saying, I've corrupted the lover, because then that would be true, and you have to lie as an evil thing. So you are potentially corrupted, but this person could be corrupted. Especially if you're saying, if you're pointing that way. Is that a real bombardier? Right, yeah, one of the bombardiers is evil, because there's meant to be no duplicates. Right, yes. There should only be one outcast. None of them duplicate other cards. Okay, so since you're either evil and faking it, or I'm guessing that the Slayer is an evil one and has corrupted the Enlightened, and that would mean that if the Hunter is telling the truth, that bombardier... Okay, let's... Okay, you couldn't kill one either because they are a good character or because the Slayer is themselves evil. Right, we'll have to wing it. Good, that tracks. So, either the Hunter is lying and is evil. No, it has to be one of the bombardiers. Right, okay, so it's that one. Yeah, because there's no duplicates. Good. Got it, we've got it. Okay, they're good characters only, but they may not be like the meta characters I'm looking for. Oracle learned that 1 out of 2 characters is a specific minion role, so that's the witches or the minion, or the twin minion, not the demons. And I think the poisoner was a minion. And the fortune teller, pick 2 characters, learn if any of them are evil. Okay, okay. And the evil things we have a witch, so we're not going to get to see the last card, and we have bar, so 1 fake outcast is added, so okay. That's not ideal, but we have the confessor in the deck, which is great. Have a knight, that's good. Have the gem crafter, I like the gem crafter. Number 3 is good. I am good. Great, that means they're both good, because they're telling the truth. And for corruption, no, we just have 2 liars. I'm not going to see the last card, alright. 1 is evil out of those 3. I mean, that's the 3 I'm going to have to turn over. Alright. I will try and stab a knight. Yeah, because if it was a real knight, then it couldn't die. Good to know. So 1 is evil out of them. That's true. So that means we've either got a real Slayer who can kill the witch. If the Slayer couldn't kill them, then there had to be the Slayer that was evil. Mm-hmm. Can the Slayer kill the Bombardier? I assume... No, they wouldn't. Because if evil, execute it. If not, then they can't kill it. So that's a good way to get around the Bombardier. Yeah, have the Slayer try and kill them. I like that. Okay. Right, Alchemist. Players to the left and right up to 2 are cured from corruption. However, if you're in the field, that means there is corruption, which means the alchemists themselves might be the one that's corrupted. There's also the Plague Doctor, who corrupts a good villager. Right, so a corrupted character is gonna lie, and their ability doesn't work. If they're right, okay, but if the Plague Doctor is corrupting someone, they're not evil, they're an outcast. They're corrupting someone. If I can find the corrupted character with their ability, then he tells me who an evil character is. Right, so if we have, yeah, the Poisoner, they're going to be corrupting a character. Plague Doctor's corrupting a character. So there's 2 corrupted characters that are going to lie, and there's 2 evil. So 4 of the 8, up to 4 of the 8, are lying. Wonderful. Well, no one's telling me anything yet. 7 or 3 is the Poisoner. You want to say that you yourself are the Poisoner. Closest evil is equidistant. Oh, okay. I mean, if you're saying that one's evil, you're saying that one's evil. So this is a... Right, okay. Now we have corruption. So it's potentially there that the Knight is corrupted, assuming the Enlightened is the Poisoner, which the Oracle number 3 is saying, and the Hunter is also saying. And there's another Knight. Okay. But if I pick you, Yes. 6 is corrupted, 1 is evil. I mean, there is a bombardier there. Alright, I mean, I'll... What? No. 7 is corrupted or evil. Huh. Okay. Saying the closest evil is equidistant. Well, I know you were good. So that means either this one and this one, or this one and this one. We know there's only one outcast thanks to... Oh, right. So that's not a real bombardier. But that person's saying either that one's the poisoner or themselves. So are they lying? Are they corrupted? Ah, right. The Plague Doctor. The Plague Doctor was not telling the truth. Because they were saying that number 1 is evil and 6 is corrupt. No, the Plague Doctor could be telling the truth. Which would mean that this one is the poisoner. Right. And that one is corrupted. Okay. Right. And so when you're saying you're 1 card away from the evil, it's that one. Right. Yeah, there we are. The Oracle was corrupted. Okay. That's difficult when there's 4 people lying. Yeah, there's... Okay, so I lost half my health because I killed a good person. Good person, it's a necessary sacrifice. Killing them let me get to the truth. That's the important thing. I'm totally fine with people backseating this game. It's a fun game, it's great to do it together and get like second opinions and be like, oh, actually... Oh, hold on just a minute. Yeah. That's how it'll work. Okay, okay. So... Well, you can sort of figure out the game as we go. There's a bunch of cards that represent people. Some of them are lying, some of them are not. You've got to figure out which ones are lying and which ones are lying because they're demons. So we have the doppelganger who is an outcast, which is a problem. They're going to disguise and pretend to be a villager, even though they're not a villager. Right, fine. That's awkward. Right, the councillor, 1 villager becomes an outcast role and they are next to it. So if I see an outcast, they're going to be next to the outcast. Awkwardly, that outcast might be the doppelganger, so it looks like a villager that they're sitting next to. Right. The added outcast isn't shown in the top right. Okay, so there's apparently 2 outcasts. 1 outcast, more outcasts. Okay, okay. This may be a Alright. So there's going to be 3 outcasts. There's 1 outcast. 1 is evil, 8, 6, or 1. Okay. Evils are not adjacent. Right. If evils are not adjacent... Ooh. Yeah, it keeps being updated. Like, constantly. There's 2 of these. There's 1 pair of evils saying the evils are next to each other. Evils are not adjacent to each other. These are in contention. Right, closest evil is that way. How many people are corrupted? Yeah, one of the 2 knitters is corrupted or evil. Because they can't both be telling the truth. Is there like a 3rd option? No. Because they've either got to be next to each other or not next to each other. 1 is evil of those 3. Alright. Hey, I could have the Slayer swing at 1. Purge both the knitters to be safe. I would prefer not to. I know I have the health that I could kill 1. If the Slayer is able to kill 1, but the Empress is saying they might be evil. That's a difficult one. Yeah, do the Slayer test. The Councillor added a doppelganger who disguises as someone who's already there. Oh, yeah, so... But that would be the like a knitter that already tells the truth, because they're still a good person and are still honest to their role. They're just disguised as something else. 1 minion, 1 demon. Who is our demon? Right, so we're adding a lot of outcasts, aren't we? Jester might get a question mark. I mean, who do we trust at the moment? Right, let's slay a test. This one. You couldn't kill them, which means either they're next to each other, or you are evil. We know that that one, or that one is evil. 1, 3, or 5, because the counselor has to sit next to an outcast. Unless one of the knitters is a doppelganger, in which case 7 could also be evil. Yeah. So everything gets a question mark. Saying one of them is evil? It kind of tracks. That also tracks. Right, is anything corrupted? Don't know if anything's be corrupted right now. Well, yeah, we have a plague doctor. Someone is corrupted. So we have a few liars. We're gonna have like 3 liars. Are we ready to just burn it all? Perhaps. I could check if the Slayer's corrupted, but it only tells me if they're corrupted. One of the knitters must be a doppelganger since there's 3 outcasts and you only see 2. Good point. Good point. Okay. So one's telling the truth. But okay, so one is a good doppelganger that's pretending to be a knitter. The other is an evil demon pretending to be a knitter. Right. So neither of them are going to be corrupted. But the plague doctor... Right, they're not corrupted. Couldn't kill 6, which means that they could be good. So is that one evil? No, that one was the doppelganger. Okay. And we're still saying one of them's evil. Right. The plague doctor's saying that person isn't corrupted, but they could still be evil. The Empress is saying one of them's evil. So does this mean I kill the other knitter? Just to be sure? And the closest to evil is clockwise. Okay. No, you were corrupted. Right. So you were the evil. Ah, no. Right, so the not adjacent each other was true. One pair of evil. Right, so you were corrupted. Okay, so closest clockwise was Bar. You were not corrupted because you were evil. One of them is evil out of them 3. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Okay. Okay. Lose 1 heart. On last heart loss, character run ends. Okay, so I stay on village 5. We're still on... We're 3 hearts. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We have the same thing. We have a counselor and Bar again. So we had a fake outcast. And we should only have 1 outcast. So we're going to have 2 outcasts. And you turn someone into an outcast. So that's 3 outcasts. Should have used the Jester to self-test. Maybe. But I didn't know on the Jester. And who else would they pick? It's difficult when you got to pick 3. Right, we're going to have a lot of... It's 1 evil, Jason. How many people are corrupted? Just 1 corrupted if there's a plague doctor. 3 cards away from a corrupted player. Okay, so someone's corrupted. It might be the knitter. Ah, test 2 outcasts in the safe pick. But they can disguise as outcasts, so they can still be evil. Okay, you're telling the truth. Unless, of course, the knitter was evil, then it should be saying the closest evil is equidistant. But I'm willing to go with you're telling the truth by now. 1 evil next to me. Okay, 8 or 6 is the counselor. There's 6, there's 8. So you're saying you yourself could be the counselor. It would make sense if this one was the counselor. You're saying there's 1 pair of you. Right, I think they're probably separate. So if I test you, you're not corrupted. You're saying the plague doctor could be corrupted. Alright. Interesting. Number 1 seems to match both 4 and 9 statements as evil. One pair. Ah, right. Okay. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, the knitter is saying two evil next to each other. Ah, right. I know there's two good outcasts because no one can see. Hang on. Can you disguise... You just pretend to be a different role. Alright. Does that mean we still have a doppelganger? Right, no doppelganger in the deck. You have added an extra outcast. You turn someone into an outcast. Okay. Okay. Right, so if you're saying they're evil, a pair of evil sitting together, alright, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks, okay. So you were telling the truth because the wretch is registering as evil, even though they're not evil. You're saying there's an evil there, great. One evil next to me, right, if it's the knight could be corrupted, which means I would lose a lot of health if I try and stab the knight. But no, it has to. The knight can't be evil. The knight can't be evil. The knight was the corrupted character. That's what I was afraid of. Why did it do that? I stabbed an innocent person. Doesn't matter. With the Inquisition, we carry on. So you were corrupted, which means that person or that person. Right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to be this one. Number 6 is evil. Yes, because otherwise they have to be next to it. Yeah. We know that. This person is telling the truth, so they're not the counsellor. We know that's not the counsellor. So this one's the counsellor, this one's the counsellor, and if you're telling the truth, yes, that tracks. Good. Good. Cut down to 1 health, but it's fine. The drunk. Okay. That's going to be complex. I disguise as a random not-in-play villager. Right. I'm corrupted and I lie. Cannot be cured, so you are going to come up as an evil thing, but not one that's in the deck. Then the druid can pick 3 characters, learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. So an easy way to see if you're lying, I assume, is to pick 3 outcasts. I don't have you in the deck, though. Alright, we have the poisoner who corrupts someone next to them. So we're going to have 1... corrupted person and 3 liars. That's nearly half of them. Alright. We have Empress who says 5, 4 and 9. One of them is evil. 9 is a real bard. Alright, they're corroborating each other. You're 2 cards away from a corrupted character, which is going to be 2 or 7. Right. So if we assume you're corrupted, and we have a knight in the deck. Are we looking for the... We don't have a drunk, though. There's no drunk. We don't need to worry about the drunk yet. Okay. Closest evil is clockwise. There's a second Empress. Interesting. 1 is evil out of 2, 4, and 8. Mm-hmm. Unless they're all good. No one's talking about the wretch. That's not ideal. Right, I'm willing... Let's say the bard is telling the truth. That means the knight is corrupted. That means the medium is telling the truth. And it means that the Empress here is lying. Because they would have picked 3 good characters. So I'm very suspicious of that Empress. And there's 3 evils. Alright. So if the Jester... Learn how many of them are evil. So if we pick the Wretch, who should come up as evil if they're telling the truth, the Empress and the person we assumed were corrupted, they say there's 3 evils. There's a way to show which cards are in the deck without having to click the top right. I mean, it's got the symbols here. It's got like 5... Tells me they're the short version of the villagers. I'll have to have a look at the options later. Okay, you're saying there's 3 evils. You're also saying that they could be evil. Unfortunately, that tracks as possibly true. No, wait. There can't be 3... There's only 3 evils. They can't be corrupted and evil. So either the bard is... If you're lying... No, if you're telling the truth, then the bard is lying, and that means there can't also be... Oh no, wait, that does track. That would mean I'd found all three evils. That would mean that it was the knight. Oh yeah, you could be the corrupted character. But then you'd be telling the truth if you were evil. Okay, okay. If we go with those are all good, that would mean you are good, you are good, you are good, and you are good. If I stab this knight, either they were corrupted and I lose most of my health, or they are an evil character. If they're evil, that means that you are probably telling the truth. They were evil. So that means you are corrupted. Does that mean the... Oh no. If you... That's assuming that they're true. Right. Okay. Yeah, you corrupt someone sitting next to you. So either this one is lying and the bard is evil. Yeah, you're saying one is evil. It's going to be the bard. But that means you're not corrupted. This one is corrupted and is vouching for the bard. Yeah. Yeah. Poisoner was corrupted. Okay, yes, that works. Okay. Believing they were true. Who would do that? New character unlocked. This is the thumbnail character. Hookah. An evil demon. Villagers next to me are corrupted, if possible. Right. Hold tab to quickly view the deck. There we go. That's easier. So we have them, who corrupts people around them. I can't see a card. That's unfortunate. I also have the Plague Doctor to corrupt more people. And the Alchemist to cure corruption. That could be either really good or really bad. Honestly, if everyone was lying, that would make my life easier. 3 cards away from a corrupted character. I doubt that. If there's that much corruption going on, potentially 1, 2, 3 corruption. Plague Doctor here for the vibes. They're meant to be a good character. They're just like, oh, there's disease here. I think the idea is there's disease in the area and they turn up to cure it, rather than their presence brings disease. But that could also be true. Right, one of them is evil out of these 3. So that one, and that one. On the bottom, pin deck view for the board on the deck menu. Ah, right. Ah, okay. Interesting. Nita seems to be corrupted or evil. No, it could be true, because there's 2... If there's 2 evil, and they're next to each other, that means only one other corruption. Right, fortune teller, pick 2 characters, find out if they're evil. You cured 2 corruptions. Did you, though? Did you? Because you're saying that either 8 and 7 or 1 and 2, out of them, 2 of them were cured. I could use the Plague Doctor to find out if the bard is corrupted. Not corrupted. Okay. Okay. Can't turn out you because there's a witch, right? If they're next to each other, it's also going to be 2 corrupted. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay. You're saying one of them is evil. You're saying you're not corrupted. Right, if you're 3 cards away from a corrupted... Let's say that's true for now. So that would mean you did cure the corruption. That would mean this person, the knitter, is evil. The jester had their corruption cured. The druid is corrupted because the knitter is evil. That is Puka. That tracks. Right, and one of them, that means that also if you cured 2 corruption, it was that one and one other. Right, let's check if any of them are evil. So if we're trusting this person and this person, is 9 or 3 evil? Okay, one of them is evil. I'm willing to believe that, right. Learn if a random outcast is among them. So if I pick 3 non-outcasts, and you say there's a drunk, there shouldn't be, and I don't think we have any way to add things. Yeah, you're corrupted because the knitter is evil. There we go. There we go. Okay, Puka corrupts the adjacent things. A pair is unlikely. Yeah, you're right. Although it is possible that you can have Puka next to the other evil, like the witch. That way only one would be corrupted. It's reducing the number of things that can be corrupted. So you are telling the truth. You were assuming telling the truth, which means you're not corrupted anymore. So I can pick 3 characters and learn how many of them are evil. You said one of those 3 is evil. That's true. Does this mean this one is evil? Alright, if I pick that one, and that one, there's 1 evil. There we go. If he's telling the truth, he complete... Yeah. Yes. If the alchemist is telling the truth, then he cured 1 of the Puka corruptions and the Plague Doctor's corruption. Which seems right. Because otherwise they couldn't be next to each other. It tracks. Okay, good. That is that level complete. Now we have the baker and an architect. Okay. Architect. Right, this is the important bit. I see that as the important bit. Learn which side of the circle has more evil. Equal if both sides are equally evil. And I'm pretty sure the architect says if there's like a top and a bottom one, they count as both sides. The baker? Am I a witch hunter now instead of inquisitor? I suppose so. Yes. I have the witch hunter hat and we're hunting witches. That tracks. Have to do big brain plays. It is also so much easier with extra people here. Right, the baker. 1 random unrevealed good villager becomes a baker. That's just... confusing, I guess. They seem OP if I get lucky. Right, ascension level complete. Okay. There are 2 evils among the characters, but we also have a plague doctor corrupting people, a poisoner corrupting people. You've added an extra outcast. There's a doppelganger who disguises as a good villager, but is still good. They track as both outcast and good. The baker's there, so an unrevealed good character becomes a baker. Seems OP if lucky. Ah, so that's like, if the last card was evil, then it's not going to change. Unless that baker was lying. It could be really good, or it could be really bad. Right, so 2 people are going to lie. The architect is there, and measurements include the 2 characters at the exact midpoints of the circle as well. So, that means that if, like, this 1 and 5 were evil... Okay, if there was 3 evils and it's 7, 5, and 2, then it would say equally evil. Right, we're still going to get to see all the cards. Doppelganger can never lie since only villagers get corrupted. Oh, good point. Doppelganger is an outcast. Yeah. Alright, we'll leave you alone. 1 is evil out of them 3. So if, in theory, if I turn over 2 and leave that 1, although that's suspicious, maybe. Both sides are equally evil. And a plague doctor. Right, so now I can turn over that. We don't have the witch. It's fine. We only have the 1 baker. Chat, please explain what it means when there's only 1 baker. Is that suspicious of number 7? Does that mean they are evil? I mean, I can try and kill you with that. You couldn't kill them. Means the baker's a liar? That would make sense. They're not really a baker, or they're corrupted. They could be corrupted because the... Ah, that would mean that their ability didn't work? Yeah! Right, that's why no one else was turned into a baker. Right, the first baker you flip must say I'm the original baker if they're not lying. So they were lying or corrupted. Then I use the Plague Doctor on them to check that they were corrupted. And they say, yeah, they're corrupted, and number 7 is evil. So that tracks with what the Empress is saying. Why couldn't you kill them? Oh, that would mean that person is either evil or... No, if one of them is evil and you are evil... Hang on. 4 or 7. Yeah, so I'm thinking evil. That's evil. Corrupted. Evil. That would make sense. And you were corrupted by the Plague Doctor. So you were telling the truth. That one is evil. And if you're saying 4 or 7 is the poisoner, you're saying you yourself could be the poisoner? One of the outcasts must be evil since there should be only one in the village. Ooh. There should be... Right. And we've added one? And you've added a fake outcast. Oh, is that just how bar works? Right. So if that was all true, that person would be evil and that person would be evil. I'm going to write it down. I have loads of paper. Where's my paper? We're using numbers now. So 7 and 6 is evil. Plus 3 and 5 being corrupted. That's one way it would work. One of the outcasts must be evil. I'll believe you. I'll believe you. If that is this guy, the Plague Doctor, they are covering for them. So that would mean 4 and 3 are evil. Right, and that would make sense because if the Plague Doctor is indeed the poisoner, they have corrupted the Slayer. Or they haven't corrupted the Slayer at all. You're saying one of them is evil, so it could be number 3. We can't corrupt the Plague Doctor. You could still just be corrupted. Right, what do you think? Should I stab number 7 or should I stab number 3? If both sides are equally evil, you could be corrupted. The Architect could be corrupted. Demons cannot disguise as an outcast. Ah, right. So the Poisoner is either the Plague Doctor or the Bombardier. I mean, if the Oracle is saying it could be the Plague Doctor, I think we'll stab the Plague Doctor. There we go. Sonaki, you seem to know the game. I like that. So you're corrupting one of 2. Right. So were you corrupted and that just meant your ability didn't work? You always say you can't kill the target. Right, so you were telling the truth. You are still saying 5 and 3. That means 6 is evil? I think that tracks. So the Slayer couldn't kill... Right, so they were corrupted by the Poisoner. They were working, that's why they couldn't kill the Oracle, because they were telling the truth. And both sides being equally evil? No, it should be 2 for the left and 1 for the right. No. Empress could be bar. Yeah. Right, Empress has to be bar. Because if you're good, and you're good, whether corrupted or not, they're both good, which means they're all 3 good. No. No, that was bad. Right. So you were corrupted, which is the same result. Ah, that was difficult. Okay. Both sides being equally evil? Yeah, it all tracks. I see, I see. We're hunting demons. Right, so it's reset the run. That's a shame. Oh, we're still on Village 1? We have a bunch of people in the village. We have to figure out which one is the demon, which one is the minion of the demon, and kill them too. So we're going to have a corrupted person because of the Poisoner. Then we also have an alchemist that should potentially be curing corruption. Corrupted characters lie. We also have a doppelganger who's going to pretend to be good and is good, but they're going to pretend to be a villager even though they're not a villager. Oh. Alright, we can do this. You are Dizzy, so you are either corrupted or evil. This is why we love the Confessor. Best character. You're a real alchemist, you cured a corruption around there. I mean, if the Confessor is corrupted by the Poisoner, that would make this person the Poisoner. Outcast trick where it doesn't work now is we can't see the doppelganger. Okay. Number 1 is good. I mean, that could be true and they're just corrupted because they say Dizzy when corrupted are evil. These can't be both... No, they can be both correct. But if you are evil, then you are also evil. Confessor is evil, or the Alchemist is corrupted. Or the Alchemist... Ah, right, there's only one corruption. Oh, yeah, you can't be both corrupted and you be telling the truth. Can't both cure corruption. Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, there's only one corruption on the board at the moment, so only one villager is good but lying. You're saying you cured them. You're saying you're a real alchemist. So you could be corrupted, and you are evil, which means you are also evil. Is there a world in which the Slayer is evil? Yeah? No? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the Slayer could be evil, the Confessor is corrupted, and then the Alchemist is the other evil. So, learn how many of them are evil. So if I say the Medium, themselves, and the Confessor, there is one evil. Right, so it's possible that that was the Poisoner who poisoned the Medium, and the Alchemist cured the Medium. There's no duplicates and no doppelganger. Oh, is the doppelganger... I disguised as a good villager currently in play. There's no way... I mean, there's 6. We have all 6. Yeah, alright. That's good to know. Slayer try and kill 4, and if they're poisoner 1 hit. Or I could have... Like, because you could... Right, yeah. No, I think I'll try and have the Slayer kill them. They were the poisoner. It worked, so we know that they're good. We know that they were good, and were corrupted by the poisoner, which means we know that you're good. You said that they're good. That tracks that there's one evil, so the Gemcrafter is evil. There we go. I like the way I did it. But that was another good way to do it. Have the Slayer attack number 4, and if they're a poisoner, then they would go down. Yeah. Then we'd know that that person was corrupted. Yeah. It was either side of the board, but that worked. That worked. Okay. New enemy! New ally! Oh, we have a Battle Sister Bishop. Learn up to 3 characters. Among them are 1 villager, 1 outcast, and 1 evil if possible. So you're going to tell me that. Except, of course, the wretch will register as evil instead of an outcast. There are so many parts to this, and this is just a small part of the deck that the demo, covers. It can go far beyond it. The Shaman, there are 2 same villager roles in the current village. Right, so you duplicate someone. And you lie in disguise. And we have a Drunk, who disguises as a random not-in-play villager, is corrupted, is gonna lie, cannot be cured. Okay. You cured a corruption. You cured 0 corruptions. Can they cure the same thing? If they... Hypothetically, if these were both good, and number 8 was corrupted, Would they both say 1? I would assume they'd both say 1. Right, we've got a knight who we cannot kill unless they're corrupted. And we know there's 2 corruptions going on here. Alright, yeah, 7 could have been corrupted. And no longer corrupted if they were both true. Yeah, okay, good to know, good to know. 1 is evil out of 5, and 6 and 3. So the one's next to her. 1 pair of evil. There's 2 evils around. Closest evil is that way. So it could be that the knitter was evil, if the Empress is telling the truth, and corrupted the knight, who was then cured by this alchemist. Right, there's 2 corruptions. One of them cannot be cured because it's a drunk person. But if that one is true, if there was 1 evil out of them, that would be... the enlightened would be drunk? Check the deck, the drunk won't be there. No, the drunk's there. 6, 7. And we do have a duplicate. So we have a duplicate alchemist. That's because of the shaman. Right. Okay. Alright. You are good. Because I tried to kill you and you didn't die. Oh, the drunk disguises something not in the deck. Like, we have a knitter, fortune teller, we have an empress, have a knight, we have a slayer. But they're all here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a duplicate. So does that mean there's no drunk? Because of the shaman, perhaps both alchemists are good. Okay, because the shaman just means the 2 villagers of the same role. It doesn't mean that one of them can't be. So the drunk is under one of the alchemists? That could also be true. I mean, it makes sense that they're both in some way telling the truth. Pick 2 characters, learn if any of them are evil. So I could pick these 2. And you say one of them is evil. The drunk wouldn't register as evil, because they are good. It doesn't say anything about them. They lie. They count as corrupted, but they're not evil. And you're saying one of them is evil. Okay. That would suggest Alchemist 2. We're definitely at the difficult part. Like, these 3 could be all... If 5 and 4 are true, then 3 is evil. Yeah, that's right, that makes sense. Alright, let's try and have the Slayer kill them. You couldn't kill them. Is that because you are the other evil? No, because that one can't be evil and that one evil, because then they would be lying. Which they could do if they were the drunk. So if they are... Let's take off the ones we're less certain about. If they couldn't kill someone because they're good, that means this person is also good. But could be corrupted, which means this one is evil? Suspicious, suspicious. I think we have to just start stabbing people. 5 and 4 can't both be evil because of how the Empress lies. Yeah, okay. Would that be good or not? Alright, if I stab the Empress... Right, you're telling the truth. So we know that you are evil, you are evil, you are good, you're good, you're good. We'll not kill everyone. They're all good. Which means that you are good, Does that mean both of them are evil? Because they were telling the truth. Oh no, one is evil. One is evil out of those three. Right. So if you were good, then you were good. That means one of these two is evil, as well as... No. Two can't be lying. Why can't two be lying? Ah, then there should be still corruption around. Which there is, because the drunk. Oh, this is difficult. You could be the... Right. Okay, well I knew they were telling the lie. There's only one pair of evil. So we know that they're separate. That means this one is evil. Because we know you're good. If two is lying, their ability worked. And abilities don't work when lying are corrupted. Right. So they would be telling the truth. Ooh. Right, so this person cannot be the poisoner. Because they would have corrupted the Empress. So they're either the shaman or this person is evil. So you're telling the truth. Okay. I'll believe you. I don't quite get the logic, but I'll believe you. You cured 0 corruptions. Right, okay. I think I get it. I think I get it. The only way they wouldn't cure 0 corruptions is either if no one there was corrupted. Right, so this one is the liar, and we already got the drunk. So is number 1 evil, and this person is true? Who am I stabbing next? 2 could be the poisoner, and 1 is corrupted. I don't think we'd have both. We could have both. Right, if I try and stab 1, that would make them good and them good. We know that 5 or 3 is evil. So it must be 5. It wasn't. So no one... Right. Okay. Well, I killed 3 innocent people there. What's the wording on the warlock? There are 2 villager roles. 2 of the same villager roles. They lie in disguise. Right. It just means there's 2 of them. That's like all it does. So what happened there was the poisoner corrupted maybe this person, the alchemist, and was cured by that alchemist. You couldn't kill 3 because you were working together. You lying means they had to be separate. Closest evil was clockwise. Right, okay. That was like the only other way it could have been true. 2 of these are evil. But 4 of them are going to lie. Because the drunk is going to lie. The poisoner will corrupt someone so that they lie. The shaman lies and the poison themselves lies. Alright. 3 cards away from the closest evil. That seems unlikely. You're saying 8 is good. Who is the slayer? It isn't going to tell me anything. You're 1 card away from evil. So, in theory, both of the hunters are saying this person is evil. But it's also possible that this is a villager, this is a drunk who's lying, and this is an evil person. 7 or 8 is the shaman. Right, so you could be evil, you could be the drunk, and you could be the villager, if the bishop is correct. Or, assuming the oracle is also correct, this person is lying, in which case... No, I mean, I think it's more likely that the bishop is telling the truth. So we'll mark you as potentially evil. You are going to be the drunk who lies. The shaman is 2 cards away from the closest evil, which would mean if you were evil, and that would be the shaman. Oh, okay. How does the bishop lie again? Okay. If they lie, all characters are villagers. So we could have those 3 villagers. That would make sense. And then it's 8 and 1 that are evil. No, the bishop would be lying and evil. Yeah, okay. So the bishop could be evil, which means they picked out 3 villagers, which would then mean that they are the poisoner. No, not the poisoner. I think both hunters are villagers since they're the only duplicate. If 7 is the poisoner, then 8 is corrupted. Yeah. But then, if that is the poisoner, the shaman is 2 cards away from the closest evil, so that's either the other hunter or this oracle who is pointing to this hunter as being evil. There's no evils next to me. I mean, I can believe that for now. You're saying 8 is good. Say the Slayer isn't corrupted. That means that they could work. That means that they... I mean, if they were corrupted because of one of these 2, then their ability wouldn't work. But they could try and stab... There we go. They could try and stab number 6. It works. If the bishop is evil, so is 5. Let's track that. Right, so you're good, which means that the gemcrafter saying they're good is indeed good. 3 cards away from closest evil. Potentially true. Probably true. 1 card away from evil. That is true. We also have a drunk who's gonna lie. So the lover is evil? The lover can't be evil. If the lover was evil, then someone else would have to be evil next to them. Because they would have to lie. They're not lying. We've only got 2 evil things. So 4, 1, and 7 are villagers because 6 lied. Oh yes, that is a good point. The lying bishop, all characters are villagers, alright? So they're all villagers. Drunk is not a villager. Okay, that's guaranteed. Oh, so the scout or the oracle is evil. The other one is lying. You're 1 card away from closest evil. You're 3 cards away from closest evil. If this one was evil, then that would only be 2 cards. So that means the oracle? 4 probably lies because of the poisoner. Oh, we have a poisoner. Oh, right. So they're definitely a villager, but they're poisoned. So does that mean the oracle is the poisoner? That tracks. That tracks. Yeah, you're right. And they corrupted the lover to lie on their behalf. Okay, that's a good combo, like the lover and the poisoner. It's a mind game. Puppeteer. I didn't look at what you did. Random adjacent villager becomes a puppet. It is evil, but tells the truth. Okay. So they're 3 evils because there's the puppeteer, their puppet, and Puka. Oh, okay. So we're going to have some lying people that are next to Puka, and we're going to have an honest evil because of the puppeteer. You're saying the left side is more evil. The puppet is 3 cards away from closest evil. That has to be a lie, because we know the puppet is adjacent to an evil. That is their whole thing. Closest evil is counterclockwise. I mean, yeah, that tracks. Okay. Okay. If you were evil, you could be corrupted. You could be corrupted, which would make you evil. Possibly. Right side is more evil, left side is more evil. Huh. I mean, they can both be lying and it's like equidistant. No, yeah, because it could be like 1, 2, 3 are the evil ones, in which case they would be equidistant. The puppet can't be corrupt since they're not a villager anymore. You're right. Cured 0 corruptions. 1 evil is adjacent to me. So the scout could be Puka. That would mean they're corrupted and they're corrupted. If there's 1 evil adjacent to me, that can't both be true and this person lying, if that was Puka. Also, that would be an evil there. Ah, yes, and then right side would be more evil. Okay. So I'm very suspicious of the scout, because the scout is obviously lying. Ah, but then they're being pointed to. Yeah, the enlightened would point in the other direction. Good tracking, good tracking. You got that at the same time? Good. I mean, you were typing, so I suppose you got it first. Scout can't be Puka. That makes sense. And if this was the puppeteer and this was like the... Oh, yeah, hang on. This could be the puppeteer and this is the puppet. Because the puppet is an honest... Yeah, the puppet is evil, but also cannot lie. How many people have got corrupted? 2. Yeah, 4 liars. Alright. I mean, that could be true. So it's entirely possible that this is the puppeteer and this is the puppet. In which case, they would be lying. That would be Puka. We could have 6 is Puka, 7 the puppeteer, and 8 puppet, yeah. Or we could have 5 is Puka, 7 is the puppeteer, and 8 is the puppet. Alchemist is weird, has to be corrupted. Oh, yeah. Hang on, and the lover's saying there's 1 evil adjacent. Yeah. So, now it tracks if 5 is Puka. But then 1 evil next to me doesn't make sense. I mean, it's weirdly possible, but... No, it's not possible. Not possible. The lover's now throwing me off. And the architects are in contention. You're saying you're 3 cards away from the closest evil. You're obviously lying. If 8 is puppet... Yeah. And 3 is Puka. Then Puka would have corrupted the lover, and the lover wouldn't be reporting an evil next to them. Alchemist could be a puppet? He'd tell the truth while his ability doesn't work. Yes, but then who would be the puppet master? It would be the lover, wouldn't it? Who would be telling the truth. If 2 is Puka... they could be. Yeah, then they'd be claiming there's evil when there's no evil. But then they would have corrupted the alchemist. Then 1 points the wrong way. And 3 doesn't cure. Yeah, then it would be equal evil on each side. Which would mean, like... we need someone telling the truth that's evil. The architects... Then we have the architect problem. I mean, it would make sense. I can get it making sense, like, Scout is evil, Architect is evil, but then the lover doesn't make sense. So the Alchemist must be good. And not corrupted? Or corrupted? If they're good and not corrupted... See, we can't have the left side be more corrupted and also have evil on this side. Although we could. No, we couldn't. That couldn't be Puka. Right. Alright, okay. You cured zero corruptions, so one of these two is still therefore evil. You are saying that this one is evil. But that can't be both. That can't be Puka, because the lover wouldn't point at her. Ah, so that would mean that you are Puka, Scout is Puka, and Architect 1 is the Puppet Master, who has a lover. No, but then, yeah. So you would be corrupted because actually equal evil. That one is evil because you're saying 3 away when it's actually 1. Right side is more evil because this is the Puppet Master and this is the Puppet. Reckon the Alchemist is evil, the Lover is a Puppet? Okay, if the Alchemist is evil and the Lover is the Puppet, right. Then how do we have 2 contrasting ones? No, I think it's got to be the Scout and the Architect. Yeah. So they corrupted them. They are saying, oh, but hang on, they're pointing right at them. Which means that evil is equidistant. And you are corrupted. Saying closest evil is 3. I mean, that could still be evil, even if evil is 1 away. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he was perfectly positioned to cure 0 of the corruptions. So the Architect is evil. Yep. Now, you are not telling the truth. You are telling the truth. So that is the Puppet. Great. The Puppet is like, the person is right next to me is evil. And the Puppet Master. We got there. We got there. Good. Now we have the Dreamer. Pick a character, learn an evil role. If evil picked, learn correct information. Alright. Oh, we have a lot of things. So we've got the Counselor who... One villager becomes an outcast, they sit next to them, which means I can't turn over the last card. Do you like the Dreamer, Sonaki? Is that a good one? It's an ability. Right, so I can point at them, and if they are actually evil, it tells me which kind of evil. That could be useful, if they're telling the truth. 1 evil adjacent to me. That doesn't help much. Right, let's try the other side. No evils adjacent to me. Dreamer would just tell on themselves as long as you know 1 evil? Or if they were the evil one, they would lie. Right, evils are not adjacent to each other, there's 1 pair of evil. And this is someone speaking while right next to an outcast. You do have a wretch. You're saying no evils next to you. Can't turn that over because the witch. Right, 2 or 6 is the Counselor. That person, or that person. I mean, it tracks. It does indeed track. Do we have anything to corrupt people? Oh yeah, the Plague Doctor. He's the only one that would corrupt people. Yeah. You make a good point. Okay, if the Plague Doctor has corrupted the lover, the Plague Doctor will now tell us. Okay, they are corrupted. 5 is evil. That would make sense. But then what about this 1 evil next to me? There's only 2 evil. We know 5 is a wretch because there are 3 outcasts. 1, 2, 3. And... oh, okay. You're better at this than me. 5 is a wretch because there's 3 outcasts. Yes, there's 2 that were there and 1 added from the Counselor because they turned someone into one of the outcasts, which could be a doppelganger. Great. 7 and 6 are evil? If you point the Dreamer at the wretch, assuming that they're a wretch. Wretch looks like a cabbage to me. No, they're saying 5 could be the Counselor. And you're assuming that's a wretch rather than like someone in doppelganger disguise. Because they disguise as a good villager currently in play. But then they wouldn't... In which case, and then that wouldn't track with you. Oh yes, you're corrupted. You are corrupted. Well, allegedly, according to the Plague Doctor, you are corrupted. So... Well, that doesn't track with 2 or 6. You reckon the dream was lying 100%? Maybe. Okay, but if the dreamer is lying... If the dreamer is lying, saying, like, that could be the counsellor. I don't know what else they say. I've just seen the dreamer now. If 6 and 7 are evil, 2 works, 3 works. I mean, if this one was the so if this one was either a doppelganger or a wretch, let's say doppelganger for now, that person is the counsellor, but that would be true, in which case the Plague Doctor would be lying. Two and a 6 could be the counsellor. Yeah, I think I'd got that. You're saying one evil adjacent to me, so that would be them. No evil adjacent to me, but they have to be corrupted and lying. That would mean 7 is evil. Who would be the other evil? Right, okay. You're right. By all of the means you've used, that I didn't quite understand, it worked. Plague Doctor cannot be lying since he's one of the 3 good outcasts. Okay. Unless someone was disguised as a Plague Doctor, can that happen? Surely that can happen. But we're looking for a counsellor, and they would have to be next to a doppelganger. And also that wouldn't track with the lover. Okay. There's only one pair of evil. Evils are not adjacent to each other. So you reckon 6. So if 6 is the counsellor, that means this is either a wretch or a doppelganger. Which means... But you're corrupted, so there should be an evil next to you. Oh, because it's a wretch who comes up as evil. Right, that wretch who always appears as evil to other people. So, you're seeing that person... Right, I get it. I get it. Minions can disguise as outcast, demons can't. Really? You're a minion... Didn't know that. I don't know where that is. So I'm willing to believe that yes, this is the counsellor. This is the wretch. Love is saying no evil, even though there is one evil. Who is the... Okay. Okay, well it wasn't 6. Then mouse over the minion tag. 60% chance. Alright, so they can be a villager or outcast. Oh, you're also a minion. That doesn't help me in this situation. Okay. So we know the evils are not adjacent to each other. Oh, Witch is dead so I can flip the last card. That's cool. I thought that was just a forever ability. Oh, okay. Right, so you were corrupted. You were registering them. We should only have one liar, which we've got. And then, of course, the demon, who says there is a pair of evil. Well, if they're both... It has to be 2 then. Yeah. The other knitter. Yeah. Okay. It tracks. It just took a second to get there. You're teaching me so much about this game. And I'm one of the beta testers of the game. A witness. Learn a character that's unaffected by evil ability, but there's so many evil abilities. For example, one villager becomes an outcast, so if the witness points at them and be like, oh, it's a thing, it's a thing, then it's just because they were affected by the ability, not because they were evil. We don't have the... We have the Confessor, though. S tier character. Absolute S tier character. We also have the baker. Alright, so in terms of corruption, 1 corruption there, 1 corruption there. And there's 9. Right. Cured 0 corruptions. But there should be 2. I was a lover. There cannot be duplicated villager rules unless someone says so. Right. So they're corrupted. Okay. If they're lying, I say I was a random villager roll. 1... Right, so because this person should say I was the original villager. I am good. You have to be good. I am good. You have to be good. Why do we have 2 of them? Because the doppelganger. Right. So the oh, okay. Okay. So you can't be the doppelganger and you... Yeah, okay. So it's entirely possible this is the counselor. This is the doppelganger that they sit next to. Who is, of course, a good person telling the truth. That kind of tracks. Potentially. Neither of them are dizzy. Ah, are you sure that they're going to be telling the truth now? Curing 0 corruption? Because neither of those are corrupted, otherwise they'd be saying they were dizzy. And you are good. Always considers themselves as a disguised role. That tracks. What does this do? When hovered over, you will see information like bluffs used by killed characters. Okay. 1 card away from closest evil. Like you. Like the counselor that you are, that you definitely are. But you cured 0 corruption. But we're going to have a poisoner. Who could be there. I mean, you could be the poisoner and you could be corrupted. And then there's a dreamer. Alright. Simple test. Yep. Alright, so that means you're good and telling the truth. 1 card away from closest evil is true. So we're looking for, among these 3... There's no plague doctor. Okay, that's fine. That was a waste of the Slayer, was it? Are you sure? Otherwise I can stab things. I now know that he's good. Dream of the Counselor because there's no corruption in the village. Right, and they say... Learn 1 evil roll if evil picked, learn the correct roll. Could be bar. That is not correct. So you are either corrupted... Right, versus 3-card challenge. Right, so yeah, me stabbing that person. I always knew they were evil. But I didn't know the Slayer was true. I mean, this could have been... This alchemist could have been the poisoner and corrupting the Slayer. That would have then held true for the hunter as well. I think it was an okay. I think it was okay. Right. Are you sure there's no corruption in the village? Because 1 villager is going to be corrupted. 7 and 8 are evil. But then the lover is telling the truth. Alright, okay. Yeah. If they were both evil, and you were... So, I mean, they were corrupted by the poisoner, who is the lover, and this one is Bar, who is trying to throw us off. So that means either you are the poisoner and have poisoned this person. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure it's the lover. That I should stab the lover. Because you've either corrupted that person or they're evil. It's not possible. 7 is poisoner, 8 is Bar. 8 is Bar. So 7 is lying because they're a poisoner. And no one is corrupted because the 2 next to them cannot be corrupted, which is why the alchemist cured none. There we go. Well figured out. poet gives you random information. It was definitely the two confessors that saved me there. Do I have... I mean, I have a confessor, in theory, and I do have a poet who's going to give me something random. Learn random info. Alright. Okay, okay. Oh, it's a lot of fun. Alright. Between 6, 7, and 3... No, 3, 4, and 7. There's a villager, a minion, and an outcast. I mean, it'd be great if one of these turns out to be an outcast. Oh! None of them were an outcast. Who adds an outcast? 2 villagers the same role. You corrupt people next to them. There's another corruption. So we've got potentially 3 corruptions, no way of curing it. That's definitely a lie, because that would mean those 3 are villagers. Yeah, so they're either evil or corrupt. They're definitely lying in some way. Poet behaves like the villager who gives whatever type of info she decides to give, which is sometimes useful, right? Yeah, I mean, if you should have been talking... The bishop should have been talking about the bombardier. Hunter is corrupted too? I would say so. Because if you're 4 cards away from evil and there's only 2, yeah, you're right. That could only be possible 2, and we know there's 3. Great, good spot. You're a good girl. That's what I like. Yeah, you figured it out. Alright, we have 3 fortune tellers. 2 of the same villager role because of you. No one else adds a villager role. Right. That's interesting. So... Pick 2 characters, learn if one of them is evil. The bombardier is going to be a good person, aren't they? So if I pick you, and you're saying one of them's evil. So it could entirely be that this is Puka, and they've corrupted those 2. They could be the poisoner. 2 of those fortune tellers are good, 1 is evil. Yes, but how many are telling the truth? So if I do the same thing here, 2 or 7 is evil, true. Uh-huh. Is that making sense? Do the same test with 4. Yeah, I've done that, okay. If I do it with you as well, you also give me the same answer. But we have a bombardier. 5 is probably Puka. That would mean, like, you are evil. You are the poisoner who has poisoned this one. You are Puka. Right, so that means you are not corrupted. If evil, learn the type of evil. Right, who should I pick then? The Slayer? 1, 8, 9, and 5 are evil, and 1 corrupted. Yeah, I mean, that's tracking for me. So you would be evil. You would be in some way evil. Yeah, okay, so that would be the poisoner. That would be the shaman. That would be Bar, right. So if evil, learn evil. That could be Puka. I think I believe that. Whereas if I try and have you kill, say, that person, oh, you couldn't kill them. Alright. That was Puka. Great. Yeah, so you corrupted them, and corrupted them. That's why they're not telling the truth. You are telling the truth, absolutely. You picked 3 villagers who are good villagers because you're corrupted. 9 is the poisoner. Yeah, I mean, all of them are lying. That means either like evil and evil, with them being the yeah, I mean, they have to be the poisoner. Okay, so which one of the bishop and the fortune teller is the shaman? Which one is just corrupted? That's where it gets difficult. Either 1 or 8. Well, let's... We said that 2... We reckon 2 of the fortune tellers. Yeah. I know I have the HP to spend. Life is a resource. Innocents can be killed as long as we get the demons in the end. Good. Health is indeed a resource you can use. Ah, now we get Lilith. Because the shaman put 2 good fortune tellers. Right. Yeah. You said that, and I remember that. That's why I did kill the shaman. Correctly. Right. Okay, Lilith at night kills a random unrevealed character. And does damage. Do we have Lilith? We do. Will prioritise killing good characters first. Will not kill herself when she's the only card left. So if the final card turns over, and there's 9, so we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 dies. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be it. Okay, so 1 card is going to die. Evils are not adjacent to each other. That's possible. That is possible. I doubt it. There are no corrupted characters. Do we have someone to cure corruption? No, unless the poisoner is between the twin minion and... Oh, that's got to be untrue. Because the drunk is always corrupted. Poisoner is 2 cards away from the closest evil. I mean, that might be right, but you're saying a suspicious thing. Okay. Kill by demon cannot be revealed. I'm 3 cards away from a corrupted character. So not 2. You're claiming 3. And 1 evil is adjacent to me. 2 evils are adjacent to me. And I lose 2 health because of Lilith. Right. Aha. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lying out of 9. So we need to find the 4 people that are telling the truth. One of which is probably dead. So 3 people may be telling the truth. We have a dreamer. I mean, that's got to be a lie. Evils are not adjacent to each other. We also have an extra lover. So does that mean one of the lovers is suspicious? Has a 60% chance to disguise as a copy of a random villager. Right. Same for you. Always disguises as a unique villager. Cannot double claim a good character. Okay. I would have said the lovers are both good, but that might be wrong because 8 could be the duplicate. Well, the lovers can't be telling the... I mean, they're not telling the truth, though. So if I've got this right, Lilith wouldn't be disguised as one of the lovers. What are these skins? Oh, okay. Right, and there's no shaman. Yeah. So that suggests that one of the lovers is not telling the truth. And, you know, that one could be true about this one, who is then lying. Probably lying. 3 cards away from a corrupted character, though, which also seems to be untrue. These two, like 7, 6, and 4, could be correct. Poisoner is 2 cards away from the closest evil. Evils not adjacent to each other? Maybe. Maybe. Right. Let's try the Dreamer on you. They could be the twin minion. Yes. Yes, they could. That would track. Okay, let's start stabbing. It's the twin minion. You're telling the truth, you're telling the truth, you're telling the truth. Lilith can be the lover if and only if the second lover is also evil. Ah, I see. Okay, well they were telling the truth, so they're not. Poisoner is 2 cards away from closest evil. Now it gets difficult. So of the remaining 4, like 9, 1, 2, and 3, one could be the drunk. We've got 2 evils and at least 1 corrupted. I'm suspicious of the poet. Yeah, I mean, it could be the bard, the scout, and the poet are lying because one is the poisoner, one is corrupted, and one is Lilith, and then the evils are not adjacent to each other would be true. You're the poisoner, you're corrupted, evils are not adjacent to each other is correct. You were corrupted. So does that mean... Oh, so evils are adjacent to each other. Okay. One of these two. Oh no. Right. I mean, okay. If you're saying that, and that is true, you are the corrupted character? Because you have to lie. So you are the corrupted character. Are you sure it has to be one? No, it can't be one. No, if this person... There's only one corruption, apart from the drunk. So you are saying that this one is corrupted, which is a lie, so that one is corrupted, and that one is evil. I think that tracks. Yeah, that tracks. Because we know the drunk is lying. That's why. Okay, we'll do another whole level. And I think we'll make this the last ascension. Ascension 4. There are two evils. One of them is Bar, who adds a fake outcast. Okay, so one of those two is not going to appear. And then there's the minion. Yeah, Benefactor's braining this. This doesn't seem too difficult. And we have the Confessor on our side. And we have the Knight on our side. And we have the Baker on our side. This should be fine. We have a Knight. We have no corrupt. We have potential corruption. You are good. Yes, you are. You're a good girl. Both sides are equally evil. I can believe that. I'm the original Baker. So, if they were lying, I say I was a random villager role. So they have to be telling the truth, aren't they? Assuming there's another Baker. Yeah. Ahaha. You're the original Baker, huh? So that would suggest that that one is the twin minion. We have no corruption. Okay. Both sides are equally evil. Well, let's stab a knight. There we go. 6 is a liar, most likely. I think that tracks. What does the Dreamer say about it? They could be a minion. No, they can't. There's only one other liar. That can't be right. What does the Dreamer tell me? Right. Learn an evil role. If evil, pick to learn correct information. So that suggests that they're good? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't enlightened, could be true. Right, let's have a look at this. The Druid. Learn one random outcast among them. Which is only going to be the enlightened. I mean, the doppelganger. So if we pick you... Ah, right, so one of these... could be a doppelganger. So 6 is a doppelganger. If you're saying there's no outcasts. We can only have one more liar. But if 6 is a doppelganger, why aren't they telling the truth? Because the doppelganger is good, tells the truth, disguises the good villager, always considers himself as their other role. And both sides are equally evil. So are you not telling the truth? I mean, you seem to be telling the truth. If that one is evil, you're saying there's no outcasts. Okay, actually this is a lot harder than I thought. Oh, could be, yeah. Wretch does not appear as an outcast. I learn one random outcast, if any. We have to have an outcast because we don't... Yeah, there has to be an outcast. We don't have a witch doctor, so there has to be a doppelganger. Doppelganger thinks of themselves as a baker. No one turned at the baker since bakers only turn villagers, so they're calling themselves an original baker. Right, so this one is the doppelganger. That would mean that you're lying. Why did you lie? In that case. Learn an evil roll. If evil picked, learn correct information. Or 3 could be evil. I know. But then where's our doppelganger? I can only stab 2 of them. And I have to get it right in the second one. Oh, the dreamer always spits out an evil roll. Alright. So if they were evil, they would be the minion. You think. Yeah. Character tells you information. We'll find out playing the game. Right, if I stabbed this person because we knew that there was an outcast among them and they were lying, that means that both sides are equally evil. Okay. Yeah. That tracks. Right, so we now know that the dreamer always spits out an evil roll. Okay, so because they said the minion, that meant that we could either trust them or not trust them at all. Great, that's brilliant. That's what we love. I now dislike the dreamer. Right, we have the counsellor who turns someone into an outcast and then sit next to them. We have Bar who adds a fake outcast. We're going to have a lot of outcasts. 1 card away from closest evil. Oh, great, we've got that dreamer. Is everyone else going to be an outcast? We don't have a doppelganger. We could have a plague doctor. Right, in terms of corrupted characters, there will be 1 corrupted character. Right, so assuming Bar added a fake minion. Not minion. This one. Wretch. Fine. Counselor is sitting next to evil, so they're either 6, 8, or 4. You are 1 card away from evil. Someone is corrupted. Bar is 4 cards away from closest evil. Now, the hunter is saying 1 card away from closest evil. That could be both of them. That could be the dreamer and the alchemist. And you cured 0 corruptions. Well, that's true. Because there are... Oh, no. No. Okay. Right, so if the plague doctor checks him for corruption, you're not corrupted. Which means either 4 is corrupted, or the alchemist is lying. Are you sure that's how the alchemist works? Because he can cure 0, and that would be true. If his, ability didn't work, and also he was lying, he could still say, I cured 1, or I cured 0. Oh, right, no, if he says 0, because his ability didn't work, because he's evil, that's true. I think I'm starting to figure it out. Right, if he was evil, he wouldn't cure anyone, and that would be a truth, which it can't be. So, yeah. Alright. So that means you are corrupted by the plague doctor, which means you would be the counselor. If he was real, he would have had a 50-50 of successful corruption knowledge. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Assuming the Plague Doctor's real, which he should be. You can disguise as an outcast. You always disguise as a villager. But if that person was the councillor, they're not sitting next to another minion. No, outcast, which is what they do. So, you have to be good. You are not corrupted, either because you're evil... I mean, 4 away. So if, like, he was that 1, 2, 3, 4... Ain't that good track? Both of the outcasts are real, because there has to be 2 in play. I mean, this is telling me only 1 outcast. You know, 1 card of... Wait, I think it tracks that those 2 are evil. You're corrupted. You're not corrupted. Yeah, this one's the councillor. Bar is 4 away from the closest evil, which is you. I'm 1 card away from evil. I can check. Could be Bar. Can't be, because they're Bar. Oh, right, 1 plus the 1 turned by the councillor. Of course, the councillor turns another 1. Yeah. Got it. A druid. Right, what do we got in the deck? Got a witch, so I'm not going to get to see the last card. 2 villagers with the same role. Oh, you're killing villagers. Oh no. Oh no. We have 1 outcast. If I can find the outcast, that'd be good. Also possible baker. Right. Oh, there's 10 cards. You're the original baker, so you've got to be good. Otherwise, you would... Because if lying, I would say I was a random villager. Right. Number 10 is good. Let's have a look at number 10 then. Who died? Oh, number 4 died. Okay. Number 4 died. Ooh. There are no corrupted characters. That is true, isn't it? None of them are corrupted. Yeah. You're good. 10 is good. Great. That all tracks. You are the bombardier. Right, so that's our 1 outcast. Pick 3 characters, learn if a random outcast is among them. So if I pick the bombardier and the other 2, there are no outcasts. That is not correct. In fact, you must be evil, because there's no corrupted characters. Okay. That's one of the evils. I was a druid, so that was the 1 turned by the baker. Who... Right, 1 random unrevealed good villager becomes a baker. So you have to be good. This is great. We're going to lose another person, though. Of the 3 remaining, 2 of them should be evil, 1 of them should be good. No evils adjacent to me. If 2 of them were evil, and 1 of them is good, either that is not correct... Closest evil is equidistant. 3 could be evil disguised as a baker? Oh, I suppose it could. Let's see who we get here. What? There are no outcasts? That was true? Oh wait, so... Does that mean this bombardier was disguised? So 1 is evil? Yeah. And there's I can't turn over the last card because it was killed by Lilith. Alright. So you are good. No corrupted characters, true. Right, closest evil is equidistant. That can't be correct. Because... I mean, unless... If 1 is evil, that 4 was a wretch? Ah. I see. Yeah. Or 8 could have been a wretch. 1 of the 2. Alright. Still suspicious of 5 and 6. Are we just going to kill 5 and 6? I mean, they're corroborating each other, because there's no corrupted characters, which is true. None of the evil things are telling the truth, so that's got to be right. You are good, that's got to be right. Yeah, there's 2 that I haven't marked in green. Yeah, that makes sense. No evils adjacent to me. Untrue. Got them. 4 was the last killed. Yes, no, 8 was the last killed. Lilith prioritizes good characters. Oh, yeah, and she sees the wretches eat. What? Are you sure Lilith sees the wretches evil? Well, that one would have been the wretch. I think that one was the wretch. Number 8. Number 4 was a good character. Yeah, because the Bombardier only lose if you execute me. I assume that's if I execute rather than randomly I lose the game because of Lilith tied with the Bombardier. Okay, now we have Puka, who's corrupting 2 people, the Puppeteer, who's making a puppet who is going to be evil but tell the truth, and we have a Plague Doctor who's corrupting someone. Haven't seen the Judge in ages. We have an Alchemist. We have a Baker. Okay. But I'm going to turn over all the cards. Left side is more evil. You were the Dreamer. 0 corruptions. I mean, I'm willing to bet that that is Puka. Okay, let's see who else we have. Closest evil is that way. Now, it's entirely possible this is the Puppeteer, and this is their pawn. So they are lying, because that one's evil and that one's evil. Right, let's have a look at you. Could be Puka. I agree. It was the puppet. Great, don't you just love it when there's so much evil in the world that you can just stab anyone, and it was an evil person? You were telling the truth that you cured 0 corruptions. Oh. Because your ability didn't work. Because you were evil. That's good. I mean, that's good. It's good. Ha. So we still have corrupted characters around. So you... We know that there's someone adjacent. Right, I mean, I can pick the Judge... Hang on. So you're not telling the truth. We are meant to have 2 outcasts. So they're actually outcasts. Yeah, we know that the Dreamer is lying. And then the Baker is probably the Puppeteer. I mean, yeah. I mean, you could be corrupted. Can you be corrupted? Yeah, you can still corrupt outcasts. Alright. It tracks that left side is more evil if they're not telling the truth. Who do I use the Judge on? There's no point doing it on the Baker because I know that they're lying. One of these 2 is evil. So if I say, hey, Judge is going to do it on the Baker, they're telling the truth. What? So you could be Puka. No. You could be Puka, corrupting them and them. There we go. 6 was corrupted, 8 is evil. We know that. We know that, Plague Doctor. I randomly stabbed that person. So we know that you're definitely corrupted. Alright. So are we saying that 7 and 9? That wouldn't make sense for you. Because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think you're telling the truth. Oh, one other person is randomly corrupted because of the Plague Doctor. Right. Let's see. Okay, let's pick 3 that are not outcasts. That's a lie as well. We have our liars. You're telling the truth. So we should have 1 liar from you, 1 liar that's you, 1 liar that's you. Right, so 3 plus 2 corruptions. 1, 2, 3 plus 2 corruptions. Yep. 5 is Pooper. 7 is the Puppet Master. Unless they were the one randomly corrupted. Yeah, Druid, what are you doing? There isn't even junk in the village. Which is something we know. Very bad puka. Oh, the ominous music. So, I mean, both are telling a lie. One of them... Hey, I've got the help. There we go. 50-50 it. Yeah. All evil characters neutralized. Great. Village 5. We have Puka. We have just a little minion. Little twin minion. Without their other twin. So we're going to have 2 3 evils and 4 liars. 1 evil adjacent. Could be. Puka is 1 card away from the closest evil. Where's the wretch? You're not telling the truth. There's the wretch. Oh. You are 2 cards away from closest evil. Difficult. I mean, that's true. Potentially true. Assuming neither of the Dreamer or the Druid is evil, you are telling the truth. Puka is 1 card away from the closest evil. You know, which could be true. No, it can't be true. Because if this is Puka, you would have been corrupted. And wouldn't be telling the truth. So, you could be lying. Right, okay. Say you were lying. That corrupts them and them. Then the lover is either lying, which would make sense from them. Point the Dreamer at the wretch. Oh, okay, I'll do that. 4 could be a cabbage. Wretch looks like a cabbage to me. If not lying. Telling the truth. Which means that neither of them are Puka. 2 cards away from closest evil. Right. So that means they're telling the truth? I mean, no, they could be the twin minion. Dreamer is awesome because as soon as you know 1 evil... Ah, yeah, it's certain. They're basically a confessor. Good! You know what's better than a Dreamer, though? A confessor that just confesses and tells me what they are. That'd be so much better. But fine, we can make the Dreamer work. Right, we can pick 3 characters, learn how many of them are evil. So I could say... the Wretch, the Baker... I mean, I just want to include the Wretch in some way. Learn if 1 random outcast is among them. Wretch does not appear as an outcast. So if I pick the Wretch, there are no outcasts. That's true. Are there corruptions other than Puka? No. I mean, yeah, which means she has to be 1 or 2. Or 3. Could be 3, and then have not corrupted the Wretch, but corrupted this guy. So it could have been like the Jester and the Scout. Oh no, wait, it couldn't be the Jester and the Scout, because you would be telling the truth. So I think that means it's 1 and 3. And then you are picking up the Wretch. Learn how many are evil. Okay, if we pick that one, and the 2 good characters. 0 evils. We know that's not true. So you're telling a lie. There's 1 evil adjacent to me. If that was Puka, then you would be telling the truth. If you were evil because you had corrupted them, which is possible, then why are you telling a lie? And why are you telling a lie? So it's got to be 1. Nope, you were corrupted. But that at least tells me you are lying. There is no evil next to you. So you are probably the twin minion. And that means that you are Puka. There we go. I probably should have stabbed the hunter first. But yeah, right. This time we have we've got Lilith, who's randomly going to kill people. There's 8, so she's only going to get to kill 1. Because I'll turn over 4, she'll kill 1, there's 3 left, I'll get to turn them all over. Then she'll deal extra damage. Puppeteer, we get a puppet. Right. No one corrupted. Yeah, the left hunter was telling the truth because of the wretch. On both the sides. Right. 1 or 6 is a puppeteer. I mean, that could be a puppet being honest. And being like, hey, that's my master. Okay. 7 was affected by you are saying you yourself was affected by an evil. So that's another fun case where they could be the puppet because one of these is the puppet master. 2 is evil. You're just straight up saying 2 is evil. But you're lying. Bombardier can be puppeteer if there's another bombardier. I mean, that could have been the other bombardier. That's the problem. So I think I used the Slayer. I do have 2 of these. 6 or 8 is the puppeteer. No, see, Lilith is just a random evil character now. Right, so if you're thinking of the witness being the one that's the puppet, that would make one of them the puppeteer. Then how are you... Oh, right, 1 or 6. So, like, that one's evil, and that one is evil. Because he's ratting on his boss. Pick 2 characters, learn if any of them are evil. But you're saying 2 is evil. Right, I could use the Slayer to stab 6. Because if 6 is the puppeteer, that means 2 is correct. Couldn't kill 6. Assuming... Right, we can only have 2 liars. Only 2 of them are lying. So, right, the poet just randomly accused someone. Yes, they did. Right, since you couldn't kill 6, that would suggest that they are good. If they are good, you are lying, and you are telling the truth. That would mean you would be Lilith. I'm saying that right. Yes, Lilith. And you would be the puppet master, and you would be the puppet. Alright, pick any 2 characters, learn if they were evil. So if I'm marking you as probably evil for now. The Bombardier is probably good? You're saying... Right, you're like throwing the accusation back. So what does this one say? Do I pick... Oh wait, you're... Hang on, you're going to tell a lie. Assuming you're evil, and you are the puppeteer, controlling that puppet. Yeah, I mean, it would be good, good, good. Evil, evil, evil. The other way is evil, evil. Where's the third evil then? Possibility of 86 being the puppeteer and Lilith. Yeah. Okay, yeah. But that can't be true. No, that can't be true. Because then why is the poet saying the Oracle is evil? If all our evil is up there, why is the Oracle being randomly accused? No, I think this is the only way it tracks. Nope, not you. You. That way. Right, so learn if any of them are evil. So if I pick you, who's probably evil, and you, you're saying neither of them are evil. Well, that's suspicious, isn't it? Right, the puppeteer lies. The puppet itself tells the truth. And you learn of a character that was affected by evil. Yeah. Right, you couldn't... Right, okay. I think we just go with it this way. Yep. And so if you are lying, then that person is good. They are good because they couldn't be killed by you. You were telling the truth. You're the puppeteer. You're the puppet. Good job. Good job, puppet, telling on your master. Alright, final area. And then we're done. Alright, just Puka and also a villager. But there's only 6 cards. So we're going to have 3 corrupted and 1 liar. Potentially. If there's 3 corrupted and 1 liar, what does the Empress say when she lies? All of them are good. Not all of them are villagers, all of them are good. So assuming you were lying, that means there's my 3 good characters. You are almost certainly lying. Which means like 6... Okay, there's only 1 of them that can be evil then. 2 is good. Okay. No evils next to me! There's only 1 pair of evil. That's not true. Also not true. There are no minions. I mean, that's correct. Alright, I found 1 of my 2 honest people. I'm pretty sure that you are corrupted. I'm pretty sure Lilith is... This one here. Lilith is... Not Lilith. Puka. You weren't corrupted, you were convinced. So it's probably this person here. Then you are good, and that tracks there. You are corrupted, that's why you're not counting there. Yeah. That works. That's it. Ascension level complete. Okay. I think that's where we leave the witch hunting for today. That was intense and difficult and fun. I've had fun. That was great. That was great. It was nice to do a more general gamey stream rather than something that's explicitly 40k. Not because I'm sick of 40k, I'm just waiting on that balance patch before I can really do anything extra. Right, today is Sunday. Next video should be tomorrow. Can't think of a reason why it wouldn't be tomorrow. I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, then Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Good. And we'll see if the balance patch turns up sometimes next week. We know it's coming in September. That's all we know. That's all we know for now. Alright. That's been fun. Thank you for the people who wanted to come along and watch. Thank you for the people who knew enough about the game to help me out. We only failed once. It's a good, like, cooperative game you can do. That was great. That was great. Okay. I will see you in the next video.